Hey everyone, good morning. All right, well, we'll get started in a few minutes. I just wanted to welcome everyone. Good morning, and let you know we'll probably start around 8:30 in 5-6 minutes. Give people a chance to get tuned in here. So, and I just have to reset my a couple settings here on my broadcast. So I'm going to be doing that. Give you guys a few minutes to get logged in, tuned in, and as always, those on YouTube for the morning show, hope you guys hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel once you get tuned in. Goal is 1 million subscribers by the end of the year, and if I can do it, then we will. I will start a small account challenge on January 1st. So, anyways, just keeping you guys updated on that. And let's see, I wonder why my. There we go, display 2. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Oh, I see girl outside. Hey, girl. So I'm going to log into the chat room here. Yes, Liam. So we use ultra low latency streaming servers for the chat room. So you guys will have the lowest latency possible. And we spend a lot of money on that. So that's what you guys have as members in the chat room. YouTube servers, it's like free YouTube servers. They just let anyone stream for free. So they don't spend, tremendous amount of money on every single live streamer. They use the slower servers, and those are fine for a lot of people. Those are totally fine. And I have the note at the top of the broadcast, just as a reminder to those on YouTube that the broadcast does have some latency in it. Not through anything that I have control over, but just because of the way YouTube is. So Avis, let's come down a little bit. Yeah. So the ultra low latency broadcast is for students, Warrior Pro students. Okay, momentum scanners. Yeah, SNMP is a tough one. For me, again, the lower price ones are a little tricky, so probably won't be able to get that one. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna do a NASDAQ test. Easy to see. Just testing the NASDAQ test stock here. All right. Just thought I had maybe an issue with my hotkeys, but maybe not. All right, so let's see. We're gonna get started here in like 5 minutes. I'm just gonna put up my no audio thing. Well, I'm gonna give people on YouTube some time to get logged in. People in the chat room some time to get logged in. It's still a little early. It's only 8:30. I mean, it's worth, I guess, since it is 8:30. Is there any headline? I don't see anything hitting the scanners. Let's see. AUR. Yep. Thanks, Ari, for that. DBGI. I'll take a look. Yeah, this one, DBGI, is a little hard to trust after that big red candle on the daily. S&P 500, initial jobless claims expected 275, actual 269. Continued claims expected 2.15, actual 2.11. EVACs. Yeah, and it's our leading gapper. Look at that. Ooh, missed it. From $7 to 52. The algo spike. Man, look at that. That's what I live for. Well, get the next one. High was 50. Really? That's a crazy spread. That's crazy. I can't imagine a spread that big. Well, so, and that was probably the case. Car had big spreads too. It's always easy when you look at the chart to say, oh, I would have crushed it. But in practice, when you actually look at the price action, or if you're sitting there in real time, HYZN news, shipment, trucks for steel shipment, trial operation in China, I don't know. LEGN, Legend Biotech, showcases, LEVL, First Merchants Corporation, one bank. G-Box appoints a new CEO. It's not usually, that type of headline, it's not usually a big deal. XRTX. Recent IPO, all-time high, 423, but then after hours, squeezed up to 586. That'll be one to watch. And we'll just draw this. HUDI. Disappointing it didn't hold up really well yesterday. Let me look at the daily chart. I don't see anything really there. High volume on the red days. It's a tricky one. It grinds up and then has these high volume red days. PETZ. Continuation. If it got back up over 5, it's below the VWAP right now. AUR, self-driving technology, 1391 high. So, all right, well, for right now, just gonna hold tight and see how things look a little closer to 9 a.m. I have no problem not trading if there's nothing that looks good. So I'm waiting for something that looks really good. That's kind of my approach here. My goal for the month of November, trade a little bit less, but when I see something that's hot and moving fast, jump on that momentum. So, that's, and HUDI is a great example yesterday. This is a stock where it started to move up. Someone brought it to my attention, and I realized, well, okay, yeah, that's actually not bad because we're breaking through all-time highs after that high volume sell-off. So that can create a swing trade bear trap where you have short sellers who will swing trade these, and you might think that doesn't happen, but it does. Of course, there's swing traders, long and short. So after 16, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 green candles in a row, big red volume candle. Makes sense. Perfect, obvious time to go short for a fade back down. 50% retracement. That would be a good target. It slowly curls back up on these 2 days, and then pre-market the next day was already coming up at 28.50. So as I saw it up around that level, that's when I was like, man, if I don't jump on this, I'm going to miss the opportunity. And so that was as it was creeping right here. It started creeping up to 26. That was the previous day's high, and then 27. I tried to take a starter. I only got a partial fill. That was at 27, 27.50. Then it goes up to 28, and then I'm adding as it squeezes up. It goes from 28 to 32, hits a high of 35. That was awesome. Unfortunately, it didn't hold. But this is what we look for, is we look for stocks moving quickly. That's momentum trading. You never know which one it's going to be. Some days we have stocks that are on the scans that are moving quickly. They've sort of got news that was out early, 7 a.m. Maybe it's in an ABCD pattern. We jump on. Other times it's something like this, which is a technical breakout. Other times it's something like what we had earlier in the week. I can't remember which one, where all of a sudden you get breaking news right at 9 a.m. or whatever it is, and boom, it takes off. When I first started trading, I struggled with breaking news, and I struggled with these types of parabolic stocks because I would often buy too high. I would hesitate. I'd finally get in, and then I'd be in too high. And so I've gotten better at being able to look at half dollars, whole dollars as potential entry points, then target up, adding in, then scaling out, then adding back in, scaling back out. But it's something that does take some time. The thing is, a stock that goes from 26 to 35, that's a 9-point move. Those are the type of stocks where you've got such range. There's good opportunity within that range. Again, though, as always, I'll say, in case I haven't already said once today, that trading is risky. And we know this. Most beginner traders lose money. Even traders who have years of experience can still lose money. There's no guarantee of success in the market. That's just the way it is. So if you're a beginner trader out there, you should assume that you'll lose money with that assumption in mind. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. Do yourself a favor. Trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line. And remember that my results are not typical. My results aren't typical, so why do I bother sharing them with you? Well, it's important that you know the person you're learning from knows what the heck they're talking about. This is an industry, and it's really sad to see, but this is an industry where you see repeatedly people who make big claims. I turned $583 into $1 million. Turns out it was a lie. It wasn't true. It was just a lie, just a bold-faced lie. And so I have my audited broker statements on the website. I have my broker statements I upload each month. The audit is from when I did $583 to $1 million. And it's important for you to know that the person you're learning from is credible. So I share my results with you, not because they're typical, but because they're important for you to know that they're real. So that's HUDI, DBGI. Crawling back up. Like I said, I'm a little iffy on it because the candle the other day was 664, but it's obviously moving up a bit. So it's one to keep an eye on. So we've got news at 8:30. We'll accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment. So the other day when we got the trade on it, it was this kind of pre-market move, went higher and higher. And then you got that really nice curl, that red to green move. I'm going to wait for it to get a little higher. I'm not feeling super confident on it because of the daily chart. So maybe I'm going to miss out on the first part of the move. Maybe it goes through 5 and up to 550, but I'm going to give it a chance to open up a little bit. There's 499, 5 on the ask, 502, 502, 505, 57 coming up. There's 7, 510. Can it hold over 5? No. Back to straddling. 497, 498, 5 on the ask, 96 by 99. Big 16,000 share seller, 504. So someone's putting up a little bit of a wall, gets a little top heavy, starts to roll. All right, well, we've got about 20 minutes to the bell. Twenty minutes to 9 a.m. 50 minutes to the bell. All right. Okay, good morning, everyone. Well, thank you guys all for logging in this morning. It's Thursday, November 4th, and we're coming towards the end of the week. It's been a good week. We've had a couple of good opportunities. I did well on Tuesday. I didn't trade on Monday. No trades on Monday. Didn't see anything I liked. Did well on Tuesday, about 80,000. Did well yesterday, about 60,000. So it's 140,000 on the week right now. We've got today and we've got tomorrow. I'm happy with not trading. If there's nothing that looks good, I'm happy with not trading and waiting for the next, solid day. So at 140,000 on the month, I guess, 3 days in, it's a pretty solid average, right? So 50,000 a day in, I roughly average. If I set the goal at 50,000, but don't trade if I don't see anything that looks good, I think that would be certainly okay. So waiting for good quality setups right now. As a reminder, hey. Wait a second. Trading is risky. In case you didn't already know, I want you guys to take it slow. My results are not typical. I share my results with you because it's important that you know that the person that you're learning from is credible. But the fact is, my results are not typical. Most beginner traders lose money. So I encourage you guys to take it slow. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. Trade in the simulator before you put real money on the line. And don't try to blindly follow me or anyone else. Use this as an opportunity to learn. This is a strategy that works for me. I'm a momentum trader, which means I buy high and I sell higher. And is it risky? Yeah, it's risky. Yeah, across all the strategies you could possibly day trade, is this a riskier one? Probably. But it's one that I like, and it's the strategy that I trade. So to each their own. So as I sit right now, the routine every morning is the same. Every morning it's the same. I look at the leading gapper, EVAX. So this is our leading gapper this morning. It's currently up 180%, which is an impressive gap. So yesterday this stock was trading at $5. It's at $18 right now, which is huge. So a big gap. It's a blue sky setup. It's not a SPAC. If it was a SPAC, I might already be in it. Because we know that we've been seeing some really impressive moves on SPACs, but it looks like it's just a somewhat recent IPO. So the float's 19 million shares. It's going to have extremely high relative volume today because previously the highest volume day was 340,000 shares. 340,000 shares, and it already has 2.5 million shares of volume this morning. So that's certainly good to see. The pivots on it, 25 and then 29 and then 32 and then way up there at $50. A little hard to imagine it would go all the way to 50, but so headline, let's see, this one's a bit older, Monday, October 25th. I'd like to better understand the catalyst here. Seeking alpha, it's not really. Okay, so what's our catalyst? Why is this thing up 180%? What's the listing exchange? It's NASDAQ. The news with Merck seems older. Do we not see any clear catalyst on this? Just rumors. All right, well, buy the rumor, sell the news. We've heard that before. Currently, it's below the volume weight average price. This wouldn't be a breaking news type of trade because the news has already been out. Well, or the news, the move has already started. It's not like jumping on something that has breaking news. So at the moment, I would say we're in a period of consolidation. Could be interesting, but probably would need to see it get back at least over volume weighted average price. So EVAX, I'm going to put that one top left in my charts. We'll keep an eye on it. Thank you guys for helping me on the search for the catalyst. So second leading gapper PETZ, $4.16, 25 million share float. Big move up to 8, back down at 4, so it's pulled back quite a bit. So when you have ones like that that have pulled back, I try to be a little cautious. Let's see. Let me check the watch list there. Thank you. Filed an amended F1 yesterday to offer 23 million worth of shares at an undisclosed price, and then spiked to $50. Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you for that. Good job. Digging deep. Amended F1. 23 million. Yeah. So offering. And we saw something similar on, what was the stock? I can't remember now, but and it did not, it was ABVC, I think. It did not perform well. That was on Monday. Spikes up on news of news of a shelf registration. Hold up. Fool me once. All right, so very similar pattern. I'm gonna leave EVAX alone. All right, MPTN. Looks like a buyout. QNST. $43 million share float's a little higher. So gap scanner doesn't look that great. We've got 4 minutes till 9 a.m. I want to congratulate Jason M again, latest student to get his $1 million badge. That's awesome. He's been a member since 2016, so he's worked his way up. It's not about getting rich quick. That's not going to happen, and his results aren't typical, but slow and steady, and for him, it worked. That's awesome. That's really cool. One of the things that I say is there's no guarantee of success in the market. There's no refunds in the market. You come in and you lose money and that's it. You're gone. Jason is the exception, not the norm. We're proud of him though. That's awesome, man. Good work. 5 years. And that's more in the way that John got his $1 million badge too. It wasn't, I mean, and everyone's different. Manoli, sweet, less than a year, but that's even less. I don't know. That seems even less common. That he's got something special. I'd really be excited to see how he does in the future. But HIM's 100 million share float. So I see that popping up. I'm a little skeptical initially. Nice work, Jay. Badge is looking good, man. But again, there's no guarantee of success in the market. There's no guarantee that you'll have any success. Even if you take a class, go through our class, there are no guarantees. Nice, good job. Yeah, the Walgreens. Yeah, I don't know. I can check. Hold on. Let's see. So I'm not importing my trades right now for November, and I did the same thing in October. I don't really care to look on a daily basis right now at where I sit on the year. I mean, it's the year will be what it is. It's every day I come and sit down. The market gives me what it gives me, and sometimes we'll get great opportunity, and sometimes it'll be slow. But this is the year so far. That's the calendar. Um, that's the year. So January, my best month of the year, 866,000. And I know there's people that make that much in one day. So it took me a month to do it. Some of these days or some of these months are a bit smaller. April wasn't very great. But I expected things would pick up in Q4. Usually Q4 and Q1 are my best times of the year. So October, November, December, January, February, March, and then things typically do slow down between April and September for me. So that's not uncommon in my experience. But that's where I'm at in gross profit before fees and commissions, just under 3.5 million, 3.5 million, and total fees 300,000, total commissions 59,000. So down to net is a little over 3. Although that makes me think that because I just had a couple of good days, hmm, I think I'm gonna import a couple days here. While we're sitting around waiting, there's nothing moving at the moment. And that's a big float. All right, let's see. DSS news. Mm, not that interesting. GTAC news. It's not moving very much. Announces arrival of new zero emissions GEF series electric lithium forklift lifts. Deliveries to commence in earnest. Okay. Yeah, Tesla's incredible. It keeps going higher. So I wanted to import. So in the last 2 days, I crossed over 10 million in gross profit from when I started on January 1st, 2017. It's taken 16,860 trades with accuracy of 69%, 1-to-1 profit loss ratio. Now the commissions are substantial, so it's going to take me a little while to break through 10 in net, but crossing 10 in gross first. Of course, my results are not typical, but that's pretty awesome. Go back to the first 2 months of the challenge. So that was when I started with $583. First day, 156, 220, 213, 219. That was the first month. Second month. EVAX coming up a little bit to the VWAP. I expect it'll have resistance there. It does not make sense to me why it's up as much as it is. Now you want to be careful not to form such a strong bias that you miss an opportunity if an opportunity does present. ABVC really didn't present much of an opportunity to me because it had that big squeeze, the algo squeeze, very similar, but then came back down. Yes, thank you for those on YouTube who are hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Glad you're feeling better. So, is there anything I'm missing? Anything that you guys are looking at that I'm not seeing? So I see EVAX got through the VWAP, which is good. That's a nice green candle. It's good to see. I would say 25 is an important pivot, but of course it has like $4 a share between here and 25. So what if we draw a descending resistance line? Where does that kind of bring us? It's sort of right into this area here. So be careful on this. This might be coming right into resistance. I like the idea, maybe, if it starts to open up, but doesn't make sense to me. So any big Momo stocks that have had a pullback, BTTX, DPI, looks like EVAC is going a little more without me, 2260. It's annoying. So we got 2, 4, 6 green candles in a row. If it can hold the volume weight average price, but then it's going to be a pullback right at this yellow resistance line. We'll see. Maybe it gives us an opportunity. It doesn't make sense, but I don't want to be so biased that I miss something. Market can be irrational. That's, car, did it make sense that it went all the way from 240 to 560? No. But if you sit on the sidelines the whole time saying, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, you're just going to watch these pass you by. Does Tesla make sense? I think a lot of people would say it doesn't, but it's incredible. FATBB, recent IPO looks like. So that one might be one that big move, and then sell off. Nice, Daniel. Good work. BKKT on your watch list? Okay, let's see. Yeah. So sort of similar to HUDI. The day it finally squeezed became a red candle. It pulled back over 40. It's a possibility. CLRO, a little less expensive. Not sure what the float is on it. 13 million. Wins patent right against Sure. AMC. Roy's still holding on. Looking for that big move. If I go to the movies, I'm gonna buy one ticket for me and one for Roy because I'm so darn proud of him. He just keeps holding. For Roy. I heard someone mention PlayStation 4. Hard to get. GameStop should try to figure that out. So this is very interesting here as it's breaking over, but just very slowly. It's kind of 13,000 share seller. You see that at 23? That's a big seller. That's a lot of shares. So what we kind of would look at on this, and it's always hard to know exactly these trend lines. Someone might draw it a little differently. So I've got it drawn right there. But then if someone else drew it, I don't know, like right here, then you're still coming into it, right? So different ways you draw those trend lines. Now, I thought it made sense to draw it from that point to there, but someone else might disagree and draw it differently. trend line from 50. So if you did that from 50, that one comes way steep. And if you did it from here to there, see, I don't know where you connect it, because it doesn't seem like that really. Maybe. Well, either way, it's definitely above those ones. Well, it's not that the trend lines don't work. They're a bit arbitrary, so not completely, but different people will draw them differently. So it can be helpful to draw multiple lines so you can understand where there might be possible different levels of resistance. We've got 15 minutes to the bell. This 5-minute candle's closed as a small green topping tail candle. It almost looks like a gravestone doji, but then the volume is quite high right there. It is the leading gapper, so it's, I suppose, the one that a lot of traders will be watching. DBGI, I had looked at it, but I didn't think that it looked really good. I was a bit concerned about the daily chart. Big move there on Qualcomm. So this one has a float of 12 million shares. It's going to have resistance up around this yellow line. That is a nice break there, but I mean, it's relatively speaking not moving that quickly yet. And it's going to have resistance at that yellow line. EVAC's pulling back. So it's a light volume pullback right now, but it is a pullback. It's a big gap on the daily. Yeah, it's a big float. I don't know, Jacob. I didn't see that. Yeah, it's kind of mind-boggling. Look at that, dropped on the news of the offering from $2 down to $1, then rips up to 8. Sold 15 million shares at a price of 64 cents. Warrants at a price of 1 penny. Warrants are exercisable at $1.47 a share. Hmm. So we've only got about 8 minutes to the bell. We don't have any big headlines today, or any kind of fresh gappers that I've been able to jump on in the last like 30 minutes. So right now, I'm not sure. It might be a no trade day. I don't see anything that's looking good. Have to just be patient, I think. EVACs, I have a hard time trusting it. I don't have level 3. So, when you see large orders, you just don't know. Thanks, Daniel. A bit mark. We'll cover it more in the next round. HUDI crawling off the low. Brokers have level 3 data. So I guess that's where they can see all the stop orders and things like that. I don't know what else they can see. Nice job, Brandon. $530. No, Kyle, I don't. I've tried them in the past, but I didn't find that they were helpful. Yeah, Kevin, I'm pretty sure you're right on that. Six minutes to the bell. It's kind of like an option contract. It's the right to buy a stock at a later time at an exercise price. 6 minutes to the bell. Yes, Jeff. Be correct. Yes, I do. Which one is that? Oh, EVACs. So what are you thinking, over 23? Yeah. So a break of VWAP and then reclaim VWAP. I'll take a starter there at 2260 for the break of 23 and add over 2350. Let's see if we get a squeeze up to 24, because that's it's a bear trap. It broke VWAP and then it's back above it. So I'm in at 2261. I'm going to add at 2325. Watching 2325 and then 2350. So the goal is 24 and then $25 on EVACs for a squeeze into the open. Watch for a dip. This is a break over that yellow resistance line. After 15 breaks, we've got 2344 coming up. So let's watch for 2315. Added there at 2320. There's 2343. I'm going to add again at 2343, and then I'm looking for 24. There's 2343 added there. Now looking for a squeeze to $24. Now if we break through 24, 25 is next. So let's watch for the break through 2350, 2375. Watching on this for an add over the $0.50 of 2350. Then 24. Dip trade bought at 56. There's back to 23 on the ask. Wondering about the trade at the open through $25 pivot, 24 then 25. Watching added at 57 on a dip. So doing dip trades there. We've got 2.5 minutes to the bell. I didn't want to form too strong of a bias that I would miss an opportunity. So the next level to watch is 2385. Nice buying up here. High of this candle is 2330, so let's look for the break at 2330. This is the first 1 minute pullback after that fresh breakout. We've got about 90 seconds to the bell. High volume on this green candle is good. Watching for a dip. Added at 67, bought the dip again. So doing dip trades off of the $0.50 whole dollar. Looking for the break through 23.25. Since we're above the VWAP, my bias at the open is for a squeeze. We'll see if that happens. I'll hold some shares into the open. 400,000 shares of volume on this last candle. Watching for another dip off of 50. Added at 56, bought the dip again there. So now we've got 30 seconds to the bell. So what we want to see at the open is a squeeze through 24 and 25. So I'll be a buyer over 23.50, 24 with a target of 25. If we break 25, then we have room up to $29 a share. So watching here for the ad over 23.50. Added at 25 there, adding at 47. Now looking for 75, 23.75, and the squeeze through 24. So watch for the ads at the open. Buying right there. Nice. There's 24 on the ask, taking some profit. Next ad's 24.68, added at 24.68. Holding right now 24.40, looking for the break at 25. Watch for the ad over 24.75. There's 24.75, there's 25, taking some profit into that break at 25. Now watching for a dip trade. 20,000 share buyer, tried to add down there, added on the dip. Now looking for the break through 24.50. Watch this over 24.50. And then back through 24.75 up to $25. Watching over 25. Sold the rest right now for 19,000. Watching for another dip. Added right down there, starter on the dip, 21.87. To me, that's an irrational sell-off. New order is at 22 to add on resumption. This is a dip off the VWAP at 21.68. Orders at 22.50. So putting orders to add on resumption, 22.27 for the bounce off the VWAP. Halt was, oh, nice on XRTX. XRTX halted up. We'll watch that on resumption as well. Reminder as always that trading is risky, and you can see how volatile these stocks are. I'm currently long in a halt going down, which recently has been okay because it's a dip trade. I thought it was going to be a false halt, but that's okay. DBGI, no. So FATBB, the spreads are pretty big on that. Over 14 would be interesting. This was a big mover yesterday, but then retraced the move. I have a starter there going into the halt. Halt levels at 14, and I'll move my order up on resumption. The volume is light, but the spreads are tighter now. 14.50. And then we'd look for a move up to 16. So 14.75 showing as resumption, moving my new order to 15. EVACs showing right now 21.50, which would be approximately flat, close to. My order's at 22. I'm going to move the order down just a little bit. 21.95. Actually, I'll put it at 22. I'll leave it at 22. Nice, Rob. Good for you. Good job. CCRN. Not sure about that one. Healthcare. I think I'm going to leave that one alone. So EVAC's looking for the dip off the VWAP. VWAP is 21.68. That's why I bought into this level. And looking for a bounce back up to $23. We've got about a minute to the resumption. showing 2150. I'm going to put my order at 2165 and 2175. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to put my order at 2176 and 65 and 2136. So watching resumption here on EVACs. Oh, we've got another minute. It's going to resume at 36.16. FATBB, we'll watch that on resumption, showing a $15 resumption right now. I'm going to put my order at 15.50, have to move it up. XRTX, showing actually a slightly lower resumption, but I'll put an order at 50.65. But we'll be watching EVACs first. So I'm going to leave my order. I'm going to put an order at 21. Try to add on this dip. Add right there, 21.23. Looking for the squeeze back up. Looking for another add. Added at 1980 for the curl back up here. So now we're getting that curl, the bottoming. Watch over $20.50. First candle to go green. So watching 20.25. There we go. Now 20.65, then 20.75. So watching added right there at 54 on EVACs for the break over $21. Looking for that first 10-second candle to make a new high. Then the squeeze back up over 21. Cut the loss, lost 9,000 on that. So gave back half my gain. Watching possibly for an add back if this is a false halt. But it's pulling back too much. It's disappointing. Watching resumption on FATBB. This one's already sold off quite a bit, so it's curling off the lows. But I don't like that there's two halts down. So I have an order to add at 1470. I'm going to put it at 1525. I'm going to move it up a little bit, 1,500 shares. So buy order is at 1545. So EVAC still halted. Sorry, FATBB still halted. It's on short sale restriction, which will actually probably be a good thing. DOCN. Not sure what's going on with that one. It's higher priced, breaking over $100. It's not as familiar as Avis. SSYS. So a couple of these moving higher. Yeah, you don't like that rejection there. That's not nice to see. And EVACs, we got a high of 25 and it ended up being like a double top right at that pre-market pivot. Now you would think you could get a good bounce on this, but I've already given back half my profit on it. $17.50 could be a bounce spot. I don't know. Probably be hard to trust with big size given that sell-off. And given that we know we've got that amended F1. Nice on CNCE. Easy to borrow. May get shorted into this level. Halt level's 450. We'll see. We're going to need to see some redemption of momentum after the reversal on XRTX and EVAX. Those types of reversals are not what you like to see. SAVA. Keep an eye on it. So FATBB watching resumption, showing a 14.98 resumption right now. It was halted at 14, so that'd be $1 a share jump. All right, 1 minute to resumption on FATBB. Had a big move yesterday, so this is a bit of a bounce off the low. I only got partial fills on my entry on FATBB, so we'll see where it resumes. Oh, CNCE, the high is 438. So showing right now 1474. I'm going to move my order down to 15. CNCE going a little bit higher. 10 seconds to resumption on FATBB. So we'll see if it goes into a second halt. Watch over 15. There's 15, so right up to 16, 16, 17. I think it's important to be a little conservative and unwind some profit and then hold the rest for the next move, 16, 17. Ultimately, I'm not going to be able to get a big trade on it until I can get a pullback. So we'll hold 368 shares into the halt. BKKT moving up. I don't see resistance at 17. I don't really see that. anything you would look at as resistance would be based on yesterday's chart, but there's a pivot at 21, I think, maybe. And then yesterday's high was 25, 24. So EVAX, the level that I was thinking maybe for a bounce, $15 would be the 200 moving average. That's a pretty obvious spot. You've got these levels right in here, but it's a big red candle on the daily. So big sell-off. Could we get a bounce off the low? Probably could. OLB. So this one we traded the other day. Nice move from 720 up to 775. Offering yesterday priced at the market. What was the price? $650. That's not too bad. That's really not too bad. I'll take a starter there. Let's see if it squeezes up to 8. It's only $1 above its offering price. Next add would be 85 and then 95. Added at 85, now looking for 95, and then the squeeze up over 8. So watching the add at 93. Added 93 there for the break of 8. $0.50, whole dollar. Now can it hold over 8? Then 810, next add. Watching for 810. 808. Adding there at 808 for the break of 810. Taking the profit at 812. New order goes at 820. High of this candle, 815, 813. 855 is the halt level. Watch over 813. Because now the news is in. They had an offering and it wasn't that low. Added back there. Now looking for 835. And then 840. Starts to squeeze up. It's hitting the high day Momo scanner. Added at 30. Now looking for the squeeze up to 850. There's 850. Nice. 876 is the halt level. Took a little profit at 55. There's 66. Holding smaller size 27. Watching EVACs open. Added at 640. 1640 on EVACs. Starter. Looking for that curl. EVACs to me. Watching the first candle to go green. Back over 1650. Watching EVAC 1650. There we go. Added on EVACs. It's starting to curl. Looking for EVACs first candle to go green on the 10-second chart, and then back up towards 17. Nice. There's 1670. So now I'm in 3 trades at the same time right now. Not typically what I go for. OLB took the profit off. EVACs took the profit off. FATBB, we'll be watching the next resumption. Halt time was 43:47. So we should have resumption in about 10 seconds, showing 1620. FATBB, I'm waiting for a proper 1-minute pullback candle to help me manage my risk on it. So watch over 16, added 1633. Now looking for 17. There you go. Took some profit off 1723. We'll let it pull back. It's extended, waiting for a dip. The high is 1750. Next add would be 1750. Add at 48 right there. There's 1782. 43 was my fill. That's not too bad. Holding smaller size there on FATBB. Reversal may be coming, so I want to make sure I take size off the table. So holding only small size during halts. Switch back to OLB. Watching OLB, the high was 74. High of this candle is 42. Added on OLB at 43 for the break back over 850. There's 47. There's 50 on the ask, 53. Happy to take it off. 10 cents, 6,000 shares, 600 bucks. EVAC's back at 1550. FATBB showing 1827 resumption. All right, sitting at 26,000 on the day. So recouped the loss on EVACs. So FATBB, 3 halts in a row, extended. We'll look for some type of bear trap, some type of pullback entry to reestablish risk. At this point, I could take whatever, a couple thousand shares, break a 19 to 1925. Those are small little breakout, $half, whole dollar. But what could happen is on the last trade up there, I could give back some profit because it's so extended. When it whips and reverses, that could be a big reversal. BGFV, this one has made a big move, couple big moves over the last couple days, for sure. But, I'm not really super familiar with the stock. It's not really the setup on a daily chart that I typically love. It's not a recent IPO. It's not exactly a blue sky setup. Well, actually, it is blue sky, but it's not a recent IPO. It's not a SPAC. It's not a reverse split. It doesn't really have what typically has made these juicy. So, I don't know. Reminder, as always, trading is risky for those just tuning in, perhaps for the first time. You see it in the bottom corner, and I'll put it again right up here. My results are not typical, but I do trade live, and it's important for you to see that the person that you're learning from is credible, that they're actually a real trader. The value of these types of broadcasts is just to learn. What is a momentum trader looking at? What are the stocks in play today? EVACs, OLB, FATBB. Okay, and why? How are they moving? What are the levels? Practice trading in a simulator before you put real money on the line. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. Plan your trade, trade your plan. That's right. This is a live real money account, not a demo. We've got about 20 seconds to resumption on FATBB, showing 1840 resumption. I'm going to put my next order at 1850. However, let's not forget the risk of a halt down. We saw a halt down on EVACs. We saw a halt down on XRTX. So a halt down is certainly not impossible, and a halt down is something we have to be careful of. So watching here, 1860, next order. Added right there, no fill. Taking another 100 shares off the table. So I tried to add at 19 and I did not fill. Went to $20.24. We're now skipping dollars a share. My average is 17.43. So now you've got 4 halts in a row going up. If you haven't taken any profit off the table, well, I'd say that's a bit of a gamble. It is up $7 a share, showing a 21.25 resumption right now. Next order, again, I tried to buy 1,500 shares. That seemed like a sort of acceptable. It's not too high. It's a decent amount. And then I didn't want to hit the hotkey because I didn't want to mark it in at the top and then have it do one of those topping tails and then roll over. Sorry, Quincy. If you're taking profit, you're doing the right thing. What do consistent traders do? Consistently profitable traders take profit off the table because you never know how high something's going to go. If I didn't take profit off the table on EVACs, I would have gone from up 20,000 to down 60,000. I took the profit off. I got back in for a bounce. I was a little early. Took a $10,000 loss, got back in. It happens. But remember, when we get a halt going down, like you had on EVACs, halts going down can gap lower, right? So that's what we have to be careful of, is a halt going down on something like FATBB. And I would predict at some point there will be a halt going down. You rarely will see 4 halts going up without 1 halt going down. So what I'm going to be looking for is coming out of the halt going down, where does it resume? Because if it halts down, let's say if it goes 25 and then halts down to 23, if it opens at 15, well, it's opening so far low that I wouldn't expect it to come back up to the high. But if it shows that it halted down at 23 and it's showing a $22 resumption, that's not a very big gap down. And then that can be a dip opportunity for the next leg up. That's how I look at it. Now, I'm not always right. My accuracy is, I guess, 69%. I think we were looking at that earlier. Let's see. Yeah. So 69 right there. 69%. And that's out of 16,000 trades. I saw a comment on YouTube a couple days ago say, Ross, you're a liar. There's no way you've taken 16,000 trades this year. Well, let's just do the math. 16,000 trades. There's 250 trading days in a year. That's 64. 60. That'd be 64 trades a day. Et cetera, et cetera. I said, well, hold up. Wait. This is from January 1st, 2017. 5 years. That's 5 years of trading. ANVS, right underneath the 200 moving average. That's a resistance point. It's the first thing I look at. EVACs, nice curl off of 15. It ended up curling up more. I was in a little too early. All right, so watching FATBB showing $22 resumption, putting my order at 22.50. That'd be a 2-point gap up. Reversal for sure is going to be coming, so want to be careful watching for the first halt down. EVAC's pulling back a little bit. Still halted, telling me a 10-minute halt on the bigger gap up. So we've got right now 1, 2, 3, 4 halts in a row. Yesterday's high was 25. Yesterday, 25, 24. SAVA, wow. Watching SAVA, long SAVA, 200 shares. Halt up is 75.90. Watch for the halt up, 75.90. Halt up moved. There's 77, there's 78. Up $3 a share, taking half off the table. So I pulled it up and I marketed in. I got a partial fill on a 1,500 share order. Taking more profit off the table. 958 is the halt. Wow. I knew I was chasing it. Of course, that is momentum. Buy high, sell higher. Holding 50 shares now. 1 million shares of volume. That's what we like to see, right? Had a little moment of hesitation there around 75.90, and then it broke through. Well, I guess that's the way trading can be. VWAP is 19 on EVACs. So we'll be watching FATB on resumption. Resumption in about 2 minutes, showing 22.24. There'll be a 2-point gap up. So yep, I'm using my scanner right here. Nice on FATB. SAVA, someone mentioned it resumed, so I pulled that one up. Showing an $80 resumption right now on SAVA. The halt up was 79.58, so it's not a huge gap, but it's got some room on the daily chart. And ANVS, traders focusing on that. Sympathy to SAVA. I'm hesitating on it because it's right at the 200. And I'm already in 2 stocks at once, so I'm going to focus on FATBB, which has a minute to resumption. EVAC showing $18, $18.70 is halt. Nice, Manoli. Good job. Good work. MDXH IPO open. I don't always like IPO trades. Depends if it's a hyped up IPO. So watching $22 right now is showing as the resumption. We've got 4 halts in a row. We know a reversal is coming. If you don't have a cushion, be very be very cautious. Trade in a simulator, whatever. But this is very, very extended up here. 21 is a possible spot, and then we know we've got 25. So watching really for any dips. It's on short sale restriction. Watching. So now there's a pullback. Taking profit and adding back right there. Starter to add back. That dip just got bought up. Now look for the breakthrough 23.50. Watch over 23.50 and then 23.75. So stopped out for now. Gave back a little. Oh man, how much did I give back on that? Gave back looks like 7,000. Really? Seems like a lot. Well, so what was interesting here is that it dipped. It squeezed up to new highs and then dipped again. So we'll be watching on resumption. It's better though, I think, to cut it and then get back in, which is what I did. SAVA. I'm going to watch this one on resumption. Resumption should be in about 20 seconds. So basically almost back to flat on FATBB. It's kind of lame. I thought that was the dip and the rip. But all right, so watching SAVA, orders at 81. Quick long on SAVA for 83. Now 85. Watch for an ad on SAVA. Over $85. Watch SAVA. Ad at 83.50. There we go. There's 87. Taking some profit off the table. Daddy got a little scared on that one. Stop break even on the rest. This, let's see. It was right there that I got a little scared. I was down 18,000 unrealized on that for a second. On that flash down to 80.33. So then when it came back up, was happy to get out just above break even. These $88 stocks, I mean, these are expensive. FATBB, high is 23.50. Halt down was 20.45. We'll watch resumption. Resumption should be around 10:10 in 14 seconds. Was initially showing 17, now is showing 20.41, which is flat. That's enough, girl. SAVA showing a $90 resumption. So I'd be up 20,000, well, maybe 30,000 if I was still holding the whole position, but FATBB, I'm going to watch resumption on this. It's showing as a flat resumption. So I'm going to put an order on this for a long over 21. Right now it's still a 5-minute long halt, which is not super, oh, here we go. So watch right here. So added there. Watching now halt up 2250, 2272. Nice. 2272. Watch for the halt up. Added right there. Trying to ride that momentum into the halt, holding 2,000 shares. Halt up, watching for a move. Averaged at 22. 2350 is the next level. 72 is the halt. I'm going to give it a second for the halt level to move up, and then adding right there for the breakthrough new highs. Taking profit off going into the halt. Holding now 300 shares, 2255. Watching 2424, halt up. Added there at 65. Partial fill. Now what's the deal with that? Only filled 420 shares. So there's a halt up. In at 23.24, $1 a share. Now look for $25. Yesterday's high was 25.25. SAVA. Have to watch this on resumption. Have to size down a little bit on it. I'll do 750 shares. Watching for dips, probably. Taking some profit off the table on SAVA. There's 95. So here we're getting another dip. Over 95, add there, quick long. There's 98. 99, son of a gun. Think about how much money I left on the table on this one. Wow. Ay, ay, ay. Getting a little pullback here, holding 100 shares. So the high is 99, watching for a possible long. New order goes at 99 for the break of 100, letting it pull back first. So now you've got a red topping tail. You're getting a little bit of a pullback here. And the way it's jumping around, I mean, you could press a buy button and get filled anywhere from 92.70 to 94. This is starting to curl on a 10-second chart. But it's extended, and the 1 minute has that big red candle, which is usually a red flag. I'm going to take more off the table. I would add only if it breaks through the highs, which is 99. That would be a short squeeze. Added there for the break of 100. Watch the break of $100 now. Holding on the pullback. Look for the reattempt, and break through $100. Buy the dip. Watching for a dip trade. Squeeze through 100. Holding right now on the pullback. Son of a gun. $34,000 loss. Can you believe that? That's the part we don't like. That's the part that's not so fun. In at 100, out at 91. Almost 10-point loss on 6,000 shares. And that's how quickly it can go. Just like that. Easy come, easy go. I thought for sure we were going to break through 100. Added, sized up for the break of 100. Could have easily gotten a trade to 105, 110. It topped out right there. I was in right at the top. Had to cut the loss, and I did cut it. I'm glad I did. If I kept going down, I'd end up going deep into the red. And that's trading. That's why we say trading is risky. Because just like that, was that a lapse of judgment to size up that much on that trade? I suppose so. But that's trading. So move on to the next one. FATBB, halt up 24.24, watching resumption. If I was still holding now, I'd be down $90,000 on SAVA. Hang on one second. All right, let's see. So it's 10:15. Resumption on FATBB is about 10 seconds away. So we'll watch to see where it resumes. So instant halt down, that's not what you like to see. See if you get any short covering going into the halt. So I think the writing is on the wall here. That's disappointing. That's definitely disappointing. So from up 48,000 to down 2,000, that was a big loss on SAVA, no question about it. FATBB, I'm not worried about that one, but SAVA, that was a big loss. Showing right now a $70 resumption. It's hard to imagine it would open that much lower. One of the things I always say with trading is I keep trading aggressively, right up to the edge until I take a loss. Unfortunately today, it's just the luck of the draw that the one that I caught that first big loss on was huge. So, in that one candle, it went from 100 down to 96. I was down 4 points. However, sometimes we see it test a level, pull back, and then rip through it the way we did right here. So I think in that spot, it was okay to hold and give it a chance for that retest of 100. And then it flushed to 94 and then down to 90, and I had to cut the loss. As we broke the low right here, I had to cut the loss, 92.12. So, that's trading. Easy come, easy go. In a matter of minutes, my day turned on a dime from being up 50,000 to being down, a couple thousand, which at the end of the day is manageable for sure. I'm not going to be, it's not really that big a deal. It was sort of, profit that I'd locked up today, but it's almost as if I hadn't traded today at all. So that's not too bad. I can manage that. Right now showing a $74 resumption. The halt was 10:15 and 16 seconds. So the two I'm going to watch, FATBB on resumption and SAVA on resumption. I want to see where SAVA levels out. The problem is I don't think I should trade it again because one of the challenges of it are how big the spreads are. And I had a close call. I had a close call at 85. and was down 20,000, and then it turned into a winner. And then once it started to pull away there, I thought, okay, here we go. This thing is going to work. This thing is going to be hot. But tapped 100 and then is now down to 76, showing right now is the resumption. So we'll see where it resumes. Unfortunately, I just don't think that I'd be able to manage my risk on it. In one 10-second candle, when you have $2, $3, $4 a share range, it's just going to be too hard. And I'm already red. Typically, the time of day where I do the best is early. So now we're getting in the time of the day where I would only be doing really well at this time if we had really hot momentum. And if we don't, then I'm not typically going to do super well at this time of day. All right, so let's see. So SAVA still halted. FATBB halted. Resumption on that is going to be in about 30 seconds. So, we'll have another day where I'll be up 48,000. I'll take that high risk trade. It'll work, and I'll finish the day up 75,000, or 100,000. Today just wasn't that day. So SAVA still halted. It's a 10-minute long halt. We'll watch for resumption around 10:25 in 16 seconds. Nice, Jason. Good work. And I suppose, you could always say overstaying your welcome and things like that. But, usually for me, trading kind of at the edge of my comfort zone and being really, really aggressive is how I stack up the big green days. These days happen where I go from green to red. This was a particularly violent one. I haven't had one of these in a while where I went from up 50 to red. But it's not unthinkable that it could happen, and it certainly could and will happen again in the future. And I'm not really that bent out of shape about it because it's just the luck of the draw. I mean, I just know that this happens sometimes, and all in all, I'm red, but I'm not that far in the red, so it's kind of like, well, it's no big deal. FATBB, this one came right up to 2483. So 2483, if this dip gets bought up, that's obviously a level to watch, and then 25.24. We'll see. Resumption in about 1 minute on SAVA. If it had done a 1 minute micro pullback under 100, that might have been better, but I thought it was just going to rush through that level and just, up to the next halt level. That's what I was thinking. So, wasn't right on that move, but that's what I thought. So showing $78 right now for the resumption price. So it's a big topping tail candle. So watching 78, halt down was 84, so it is gapping lower. We may see continued selling as some people who didn't cut losses where they should have end up bailing a little bit lower. So look for some continued selling. And then we'll see if we get a curl on that 10-second chart. If it does bounce back up, obviously you could get a nice bounce. So it's worth watching for that. So 10-minute halt is right there. You can see how it's already bounced up $4 a share, but good luck if you wouldn't have gotten filled at 84. It was there just for a split second. So right now, this is a 4-point just range. It's just a huge range. There's no trades in here. FATBB right now showing as basically opening flat, which is bullish. So we've now had 4, 5, 6, 7 halts on it. Resumption on FATBB coming up in about 30 seconds. You know, in SAVA, if I had held an average down or something, I would have turned a bad situation into something a lot worse. From 99 to 80, you know, that's $120,000. So let's watch to see if we get that curl back up over 22 on FATBB. No, it doesn't seem like it yet, but there is a buyer at 20. But then drops down a little bit more. So cut the rest of that position. We'll sit down 4,300 on the day. And I'll try again tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a little better. Maybe tomorrow I'll have the good luck not to catch a $50,000 loss in one trade. And I'll finish the day up 50 or 75 or 100. Or if I don't see anything good tomorrow, then I won't trade tomorrow. And I'll sit on the week 80,000 from Tuesday, 60,000 from yesterday, 140,000, well, minus the 4 or 5,000 from today. So $135,000 on the week. So that's where I sit right now. And it's definitely a reminder of how quickly, how easy it can come and go. Within the course of an hour, I went up 50,000 and then all the way back down. So you could do that on any scale. You could do it on up 500,000 and then back down. You could do it up $50 and then back down. $500, 5,000, 5 million, sure. If you have enough size in your account, you could certainly do it on a stock like SAVA. That's trading. But it's important to know when to draw the line. It's important to see the writing on the wall, and the writing on the wall today is that things have started to roll over. We're not seeing things holding up as well. There's not really one obvious stock at the moment. We had a few different interesting stocks, but not one super obvious. So my profits were a bit spread across 4 different stocks until I caught that one big loss on SAVA, which is part of the deal with trading higher priced stocks. You trade $80, $90, $100 stocks, and sometimes that's exactly what happens. And that's why I stayed clear on CAR, because CAR is a stock where I knew I could be a deer in the headlights. I knew I could take a trade on this one the other day and all of a sudden be down 10, 15, 20 points. And you're staring at your P&L showing down minus 18, minus 28,000, minus 38,000, minus 68,000, minus 175,000, minus 300,000. And the number gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. On a stock like CAR, I don't even want to think about how bad it could have been. So the upside was there, but the downside to me felt too high. And honestly, on SAVA, after that first close call, I probably shouldn't have gone back for it, but it recovered so nicely that right at this moment, this felt like the first pullback. So hindsight's always 20/20, and If you can learn from your losses, then, you know, that's probably the best you can do. Just try to keep getting a little bit better and a little bit better. Try to win a little bit more than you lose. So that's it for me, 10:30, shutting it down, and I'll be back again tomorrow.